There he is, the legend on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Let's start with Jaylen Phillips, buddy. My God, I mean, he was, what an addition. That line was terrific.
They were great. They were great last night. He's always been a great player. He really came into his own in his second year. Takes a year to figure it out. They had major injuries, and so he was always rehabbing. Even when he was like rolling, but he just knows how to play the game. He plays it. First of all, he's got great size. And he's not just a pass rusher. Like some guys are. Like the guy can play everything. He played the run. He can drop into the flat, but he can rush, and he's an excellent pass rusher. He's long. He knows how to use it. He's got an array of moves, and he can bend. He can really bend and turn. And even on the Jaylen's Hunt sack last night, it was Jaylen Phillips that just crushed the pocket. No tight end can stay in front of him. He was the best defensive player in the field last night.
And it's so valuable because now everybody slots in, right? No one comes back. He's perfect, right? Because you know how violent he is. And now all of a sudden, Hunt, look how great he played last night against the run. Like, it just makes everybody, BG, who was just here, he comes back with a pitch count.
But rotation. But really, what they have, I mean, obviously, Jacoby started last night, but there's a package for Jihad. There's a package for everybody. But the important thing is, I kind of liken Jaylen's addition a little bit like Chris Long when he came to the Eagles, and like he might be better than Chris at this stage right now. Chris might argue with me about it, but Chris was at the end of his career. Jaylen, if he stays healthy, he's right in the thick of it. But regardless, what they have right now is a real rotation, and this isn't to go win the NFC East. This is to go win a Super Bowl. They've got now the necessary rotation to keep guys fresh, to have multiple looks, 5-man fronts, 6-man fronts. I mean, they have so many packages now that they can really rest these guys and keep them fresh for the run.
Yeah, we were talking about optionality, after the deadline and how much they got it. And I mean, it's there. And when you look at it, like, there's really only one spot that's a little soft, and that's the CB2 with Adoree Jackson. But, you're able to mask that with pressure and up front play.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's certain teams that might exploit that. The Rams, if you would see the Rams, again, in the postseason, they certainly have the ability to do it. You watch Seattle play right now. They've got the ability. There's teams that can attack it if they should see them, in the postseason. Detroit on certain days, not every day, but certain days. So they'll be tested there. But, it also, we can figure things out, Jacorian, Adoree, if you have to put Cooper out there, they got Michael Carter for a reason. So, I mean, they've got, the word optionality is the right word. They've got a lot of options right now.
So what did you think of the offense? I mean, it's like a zone perplexes them. Like Jaylen was late on his throws,
Yeah, I mean, look, Green Bay's a good defense, man. I mean, they're good. Those two linebackers, Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper.
Quay's a good player.
Linebacker. The Eagles had no answer for safeties like Evan Williams coming up in the run game, coming in late, where all of a sudden the blocking has started. They're losing lanes, so Fred's over there, whatever, and Fred's fine. Fred was good, and he usually is. But he missed a safety coming through that hole one time, and they blew up a bunch of runs. And then Micah Parsons is a beast. They did a good job against Micah, but once he starts chasing, it's hard to complete a pass once he starts chasing you.
Yeah, I didn't like what. Curious what you think of a lot of give ups, man. 3rd and long, and
I agree. They did like 3rd and 11. Like, just go for it. I mean, you're not gonna. I don't know. Like, I'm with you. Like, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Teams convert 3rd and 11 all the time in this league. Teams play soft. There's holes. If you got a great line protecting, take your shot. Like, I'm with you on that totally. Cause I scratched my head last night when I saw it, and I scratched my head at 6:30 this morning when I watched it. Like, I just don't understand the call.
And interestingly, the biggest play of the game was the 3rd and 12 in their own territory, right? Because they'd have to punt and give the ball back, good field position. They converted it. The Devontae.
Yeah. Well, that's the one time the Packers broke down. They were in cover one. It looked like Quay Walker should be on Saquon, and he rushed instead. And Jaylen had time and found Saquon. He went for 40. Next play, they hit the touchdown to the Slim Reaper.
Yeah. Do you ultimately, what did the tape show you on offense? What did you see?
Well, I mean, the only good run they had really was, Saquon when they got the second level blocked, and they did a good job. But I thought they struggled to run the ball. But I give Green Bay credit. They got the extra man in there that they was unaccounted for. I didn't see they ran 2 pin and pulls where they, whether it was with Steen or whether it was with Landon, and Toth is really good in that. And they had 2 really good runs. They don't go back to it much. They stacked a play to get the ball outside to Devontae. One time they could have run the sweep, and they should stack more plays. And they got, even Troy mentioned it last night, they don't run a lot of hit screens out there. They got the ball to AJ, the first 2 drives a little bit, but they didn't really went away from them. Like, I just didn't think they really attacked very much. They took one play action fake where they ran a little speedo route down the field, but Green Bay covered it real well, and then they went away from it.
Yeah. I just didn't get the lack of it's a shame. The first drive was a nice drive. It's like, all right, the fumble happens. It's a Peanut Tillman punch out. All right.
Yeah.
There's no need to go crawl into a shell after that. Like, what are you doing that for?
They played it very close to the vest. Maybe they just thought defensively, the way that they were playing, I think that affects the play call with Kevin sometimes. But I thought, they would run to the perimeter a lot more than they did, just because of the guys they have out there, Lane and Malata and Dickerson. They all run really good. They didn't get to that much last night. And, maybe they thought the ends were playing too wide, whether it's Micah or whether Rashawn. The one guy that's a really great blocker that can do all that stuff. And when he played last night, he played great, but didn't play much, is Cameron Latu. Like, that guy is a great blocker. He played like 5 snaps on offense. And he's knocking Edgerrin Cooper and putting him on his back. He's blocking Micah Parsons in space on a rollout. Like, I feel like there should be a bigger role for him if you wanted to take more shots down the field and get more time on the outside.
To me, the most perplexing thing was not punting at the end of the game. That
was weird. That was so strange, cuz it almost come back to haunt him. Honestly, they kicked a 64-yard field goal. Now he misses it, but we're seeing this routinely in this league right now.
Right.
And making these things. But even if they catch, they're in a position after they catch over the middle, where if they complete a ball for 5 yards, which they had time to do, you're going to tie the game up. Like, it was bizarre. The whole thing was bizarre. The whole final 2 minutes was bizarre to me. Like, you lose games because of that.
Yeah. I mean, and afterwards, he's talking about the field goal for a field goal. Like, he goes well, we thought about kicking it, but we didn't want to give the field position. And he's like, so we thought the best idea was to go for it. Never once does he bring up punting the ball as an option. It's like, hey, Nick, what's behind curtain number 3? What are you doing, man?
I'm right with you. I'm right with you. It was absolute, like, the go route to AJ, like, you punt the ball, and if it goes in the end zone, you put them at the 20, you're fine. Like, you make that team earn it. You don't give it to them like they did. One pass play, they're in field goal range. It was, it's honestly, like, I saw the Giants lose 2 games like that this year. Like, you lose games because of those decisions.
Yeah.
Totally. If the kicker was good last night, they're playing into overtime.
Yeah. And it was weird because when he gets off the try kick, like right before the timeout, he still goes and kicks it.
Yeah.
he's right on target, and he's only a half a yard short. Like, it wasn't like he was way short.
I saw Pat McAfee this weekend. I was asking him about like where did this come from? These legs. He goes like he said like it's just like a golfer. They're just perfecting these swings now. Where it used to be 55 was long, now it's 65. That guy was a 64-yard field goal, and he's got the leg to do it. Like you watch these guys warm up now, they're routinely kicking 60 and 65-yard field goals in pregame warm-up. They never would used to try that because you save that kick for the game. Like you might kick 50-yard field goals or 55, but you don't want to like stress your leg like that. But I see guys kicking 55 and 60-yarders in pregame all the time now.
What's the deal with the balls, the kicking balls?
Well, it
what
used
did
to
McAfee
be that
say?
you had K1 balls and you weren't allowed to kick them
right.
until the game. So they had like, it's like taking a basketball.
Right.
It's got a slick film on it. Now you can practice with these balls and get them broken in, and then you have your bags that you've already kicked that are used for the kicking. It used to be they were 12 brand new balls. They brought them out for every game. And it really, really limited some of the kicks that you saw make.
Yeah, it's just wild. Anyway, back to the game. What else did you like?
I liked all the stuff that Vic did. Like they didn't really have to blitz much, although Nakobe came on the big play where Jordan Love gets doesn't know what to do with the ball and just basically panics. Jaylen Phillips falls on it. I liked the packages of what they had. I like the fact, outside of, a rare fumble by Jaylen, they take care of the football again. They did play, but they played great defense, all night. And that's honestly, that's what's going to win championships this year, just like it did the Super Bowl. Like getting the ball out, playing great defense. There's going to be teams that are going to, we've seen the Colts put up 40. We've seen all these teams put up 40. That's not going to win a Super Bowl for you. You're not going to, defense is going to win a championship. And I like the way they're built right now. They're built really, really good. I mean, Jalen Carter was a factor last night. Obviously, Phillips. I feel like everybody has their role defined for them right now. Like for the first time, Zach Bond didn't have to be everything in the game for the Eagles to play great defense. Other guys are making the plays before Zach Bond cleans up. He's still a great player, but I do like the way that they're playing right now.
Paulie, have you seen anything like Lane Johnson last night and his beast mode coming back from that injury?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Lane Johnson, have you seen anything like him last night where we thought he was out for maybe the season? He gets carted off and he comes back late in the fourth quarter.
That's your man.
He probably went in to get an X-ray just to make sure, like, is anything broken, whatever. Wasn't broken. Then it was a question of handling the pain. When he went back in, he played the same. Now, I texted him last night. I haven't heard from him just how bad it was. But we've seen him just to come back and play the last two series like he did, especially in light of how Fred was playing. Fred was playing good. But, Lane wants to be first-team All-Pro. He doesn't want to miss snaps. So, but it was a scary moment just to seeing the ankle. Sometimes, depending on how the ankle rolls, his ankle rolled in.
Yeah.
That's more severe injury. And you didn't know at the time, was it the ankle and the knee or just the ankle? So it looked like, I'm sure, got an X-ray, taped it up, and then kind of worked it out a little bit and decided he could play with it. Went back in.
Yeah, I was worried about the knee. I mean, at first, it looked like, oh my God, no, not.
We see it every week in his sleep. Every week in his sleep, guys are falling the back of guys' legs now.
Yeah.
And then, I had a guy fall on the back of my leg one time against Pittsburgh, and I ended up, breaking a bone in my ankle. I ended up playing with it. It was good enough to play with. It wasn't good, but I could play with a cast on it. But like that's the scare. Like these guys are 340 pounds falling on you now.
It's a lot of force.
Like they're powerful men. I see guys go out every week right now in that type of play. Usually Lane is really good about getting away from the fray and pulling off at a certain time in a play.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got 3 ugly wins, but they're at, Kansas City, Tampa, Lambeau, all on the road. It's an impressive collection of wins they got going on.
It is. You're 7-2. You've beaten the Rams.
Yes.
Right? I don't care if it was lucky or not. You beat the Rams. You beat the Packers. Right? You've beaten everybody. You beat Tampa. And then we'll see about Sunday night. That's the only team left.
Yeah.
That in Seattle.
Right. So listen, usually you're going to get tested in your own division, and obviously nobody is going to test them in this division. So you need good out of division games right now. You need Detroit. You have to find out where you're at. You got to find out what you can do, what you can't do, what other teams are doing. You have to go through a game plan of a good team with a good offense. So this is important. Seattle had 35 points up, before 17 minutes had gone by against Arizona. You see these games, the Rams were up 21-0 on San Francisco. They weren't out of the first quarter. Yeah. It was like Grant went through Richmond to watch them play that game. And so, it's good to get tested right now. And I don't think any of these teams can do that to the Eagles.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Lions have in store. Because Green Bay, let's face it, they had no receivers. Golden didn't play. You were without Kraft. You lost Dobbs.
They were playing the receivers that were playing them in a playoff game last year. Bo Melton is out there playing, Malik Heath. That's why they went out and drafted 2 receivers.
Right.
They lose Tucker Kraft the week before, so the Eagles don't see him at their strength, at their best. Tucker Kraft is a guy that, can catch and run. Musgrave can make a catch here and there, but, that was their leading receiver. So you lose Campbell, you lose Golden, and you lose Kraft for that game. So,
Dobbs 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah. And then, they're dropping passes, in their hands. So, look, some of their defense had given up 7 points. They got Green Bay at the right time to be able to do that.
Yeah. Now I'm curious about what Sunday night's going to look like. Would you make of Campbell taking the play calling?
Say that again.
What do you make of Campbell taking over the play calling?
Sometimes you just have to make a change just to see, just to see what kind of spark you can get. So that's all that ever is, okay, let's hear another voice call the same plays that I would call, but maybe, it's a different rhythm to it or something.
Yeah. What do you think about Dable getting fired?
Well, somebody had to be. I texted Wink Martindale last night. He was the defensive coordinator when Dable first went there, and Wink's a hell of a coach. So they have a falling out, Wink and Dable, right? So Wink goes. He's coaching Michigan and win a national championship with Wink as defensive coordinator. They're 5-22 without Wink. Nobody. And the thing that, I texted him last night. I'm like, nobody develops in that team. You've seen Dexter Lawrence regress. Kayvon Thibodeau's not an improving player. What Jaylen Phillips did last night was better than anything Kayvon's done the last 2 years. That's what he was drafted to be. You don't see Brian Okereke was a great player in Indianapolis. Yeah. He's invisible right now.
Yeah.
Deontay Banks stinks. Nobody is improving. And then the quarterback just had his 4th concussion. He's a great player. The same thing happened to Daniel Jones. Something had to change. I don't know if Kafka's going to be any better, but you look at the Eagles and Nick and all the changes in this division since Nick took over. It's unbelievable the stability the Eagles have, even losing coordinators after coordinator since he's been there. Losing all the coordinators they've lost and seeing all the changes in the division, trying to just compete with the Eagles.
I got to tell you, I don't know why Dable would call all those runs for that kid. He's been in concussion protocol 4 straight weeks. He's your franchise quarterback. You're going nowhere. Why in the world would you continue to put him in peril?
Look, Daniel Jones had a major knee injury. He had a major neck injury. doing the same, running the same type plays. I realize they have very few explosive weapons. But the week before, I interviewed this kid, Taylor Bethune, the middle linebacker for the 49ers. The week before, he hit Jackson Dart. I swear to God, I thought he put him to sleep. Like, he got up from it, and I was like, he can't do this. Like, this you can't do that in this league. You might even get away with it in the SEC. You can't do this in the NFL. These guys are too fast. They're too violent. Like, quarterbacks don't survive running up the middle of a defense in this business.
You think you got Josh Allen. Josh Allen is an anomaly, right? You know, what in the world was he doing? All right, how good is Seattle?
Well, you know, they made
the Shaheed.
They made the trade for Shaheed. Like, you saw they had a game plan for him literally 5 days later. They ran fly sweep, hit screen. They ran a speedo route with Jackson Smith and Jigma, a post dig. He runs the dig. Buda Baker drives on the dig, and there goes Smith and Jigma 60-something yards for a touchdown. They have everything it takes to be great. You watch the two guards, Anthony, the right guard, and then Graves Abel, the left guard. Like, they dominated the Arizona Cardinals. And then defensively, you know, Big Cat Williams and what they have, Byron Murphy and Jerron Reed, they're loaded on the defensive front. Like, they're built tough, really tough. And Sam Darnold, like, look, the X factor is as good as the offense is. Sam Darnold threw a pick. He fumbled twice. They overcame all of it. Like, actually, the only way that Arizona scored was Sam gave him short fields. So he still is capable of being a turnover machine. But he also made a ton of great plays also.
Yeah.
Like, Jackson Smith and Jigma might be the best receiver in football right now. Nobody can cover him. Nobody. And he's averaging 18 or 19 yards a catch.
Dude, he's open every play. I like, you go, how do you not roll coverage his way? It doesn't matter. He still gets open. It's really amazing to see.
You know, Clint Kubiak is right out of, you know, Shanahan and McVay. Like, they're going to be under center. They're going to play action. They're going to roll out, bootleg. Like, all the plays are there to take their shot plays down the field. They're built like they won 10 games last year.
Yeah.
You know, and now they've got a real quarterback. You know, like, they're built to win probably 12 or 13 games this year. They're going to be look, I don't know who's going to win the division. The Rams are loaded too. Like, they played 4 tight ends, and all of them, 2 of them caught touchdown passes. All of them, like, I've never seen a 4 tight end package. Like, they've got 4, they all can play.
I mean, he's going 14. Like, what?
Yeah, but that's with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. So they run these hit screens out there, and they've got 3 tight ends blocking on the edge. Just like they have a different mentality offensively than a lot. Like, both those teams are going to be tough outs in the postseason.
So ultimately, why do you think the Eagles have personnel? Like, you got Devontae, you got AJ, you got Goddard, you got Barkley. Why does that offense look so painful? Is it ultimately, what do you like when you look at these other offenses? Is it strictly the mind of the OC? Is it the quarterback that is limited in what he can do?
I think the short answer, honestly, the short answer, and this is not a knock, but I feel like they live in fear of making a mistake.
Right.
Like, you can't play in fear. You got to play fearlessly. You got to trust that you can make stick tight window throws and your receiver is going to go get the ball. You got to, like, oh, okay, look, the touchdown throw to Devontae, like, look, it's a jump ball with him and Evan Williams, and he jumps first and he wins the jump ball. Now, Jaylen was very good at that, but they threw one of those last night. You watch these other teams, you can count the number, you need 2 hands to count the number of deep shots these teams are taking and how they play in rhythm. The Eagles don't. They live in fear of turning the ball over, and it's won a lot of games for them. But it doesn't look like other offenses.
No, And the one thing with Jaylen, and I guess this is a byproduct of it, he's just late all the time. Like, he was late on the throw to Smith, like on the touchdown play. Like, he missed Calcaterra wide open. Like, those, anytime a team's in his zone, like, we know what he's great at and what throws he's very good at. But anytime teams drop back and are in his zone, man, he's not late.
He's not going to throw with a lot of anticipation and where the receiver is going to be. Because that leads to too many mistakes, and he just doesn't want to make mistakes. Yeah. And so that's the good and the bad of the way that he plays right now.
Yeah. No, I got you. It's a fun week, man. It's just like, this is the perfect time. How was Texas Tech?
It's unreal. What an atmosphere. But it really shows you what college football is all about. They spent $7 million on the defensive line at Texas Tech. David Bailey is going to be a first-round pick. He's a great player. He played great. But it was Joey McGuire. Obviously Matt hired him at Baylor. He's a great coach, and they're going to be tough. They lost one game to Arizona State this year without their starting quarterback. But they're going to get to the Big 12 championship. They're going to get to the playoffs, and they've got a defense. This Rodriguez, the middle linebacker, is in the Heisman Trophy conversation right now. He's that good. But the atmosphere, seeing McAfee and seeing Herb Street and seeing the guy Nick and seeing the guys down there in the field.
Did you? I meant to watch. Did you do? We had a game. Did you?
No, it was all they had it all set up for Mahomes down there in the field. So, Pat was there.
Did you see Pat?
Yeah, talked to Pat. Yeah, I told him, I go, what's the odds that the Chiefs have a bye week, the week that game day is at Texas Tech, and he's going to be at the game?
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. Did you meet the oil man?
Yeah, Cody Campbell. Yeah, he's only worth $15 million. The oil business, because I got to go here, I got to do this 49ers thing. But yeah, everybody, if I was an oil man like Cody Campbell is, I'd do the same thing to my alma mater.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Man.
All right, brother. Great stuff. Thanks, pal.
Yep.
Here he is, Baldy.